The expansion of Academy at Glengarry services into Manatee County was a long-held dream that took 3 years of planning, design, and construction. On April 18th, 2024, that dream was realized with the official opening of Academy at Bradenton. Our grand opening event was celebrated by nearly 300 friends, including community partners, county officials, members, families, staff, and our own board of directors. It was one for the ages. Let's take a look.
Wow. Welcome, everyone. What a crowd. This is quite a moment.
This is quite a moment. Hello, everyone. We're humbled to have so many of you here today to celebrate with us. I'm Vanessa Alcantara, a vocational instructor, one of the founding staff of the Academy at Bradenton.
And I'm Thaddeus Haddad. And I guess that makes me a founding member?
It definitely does that. Did you know there'd be... Yeah. Did you know there'd be so many people here today?
I did not. We're going to be household names after this.
Next stop, Hollywood.
That's right. And you'd know. Vanessa here recently regaled a bunch of us with stories about how to break into showbiz. She had us enthralled, only to follow it by saying that she's never been west of Florida.
Nor acted, seriously, not even a school play.
Nor met anyone famous. So we call her Hollywood now.
I'll tell you what, a girl can dream.
Ah, yes, a girl can. And look at you now, almost famous.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I do feel pretty starstruck to be amongst so many VIPs here today.
Truly, never has the phrase, "it takes a village," been so apt. The Academy at Bradenton is a shining example of the power of community. When we set out to replicate what we have achieved in Sarasota, bringing the Academy's mental health wellness opportunities to Manatee County, we enlisted the best of the best. There are so many people, members, staff, our board of directors, donors, community partners, to whom we owe gratitude for getting us to this moment. Today, we'd like to introduce you to just a few of the key players in our successful opening.
For sure. And I'll start by thanking our sponsors for this grand opening event, Audi Sarasota and Sunset Automotive Group. Also, we are very grateful for Pastor Robin Hager and the First United Methodist Church for allowing us to use this beautiful space this afternoon. Let's give a round of applause. Alrighty, folks, we'll do our best to keep the program moving because after our last speaker, we are excited to show you our extraordinary space.
And let you sample some of the gastronomical prowess of our members and staff.
Translation, there will be really good food.
Yes, that's what I said. And like everything we do here, every detail has been planned, executed, and presented by Academy members in equal partnership with staff.
Also, there will be lobster rolls.
Right. There will be lobster rolls, very A-list, Hollywood.
And tell them about the big reveal.
I thought that was a surprise.
Oh, right.
Nothing to see here, folks. Moving right along. Vanessa, would you like to introduce our first speaker?
I thought you never'd ask. It seemed only right to begin our program where it all began for the Academy. Quite simply, without her initial vision, we would not be here. But moreover, she is a doer. With tenacity and inclusive leadership, she has steadfastly led the charge of this labor of love while doing so with all of us deep in the trenches of the day-to-day details. Please welcome our Board of Director President, Mrs. Geyer.
I have a script, but you know I'm not going to be able to do it, right? Good afternoon and welcome to the Bradenton campus of the Academy at Glengarry. I'm thrilled to see so many of you here for this grand opening. This is a dream that started over 20 years ago. After 2 false starts, the Sarasota campus opened in 2017. During our remodeling process here in Bradenton, our program has been operating across the street at Connect Central for almost 2 years. Our staff and members have been patiently waiting for the beautiful renovations at 601 12th Street that you will see shortly. This has been a community effort. Thank you to all the community partners who are listed in your program. In addition, none of this would have been possible without Delta Southern Construction, Greg Gallion, and especially Project Superintendent Dennis Brucker, and of course, his amazing subcontractors. Our board member, Andrea Jackson, has been the creative designer along with Folly Bryant. All of our Academy board members are here today. You may have been greeted by many of them when you entered the tent area, and our 2 Manatee County board members, Shelley Crofit and Rosemary Stack, are here, as well as Dr. Matthew Thomas, Don Osborne, Paul Hennekes, Steve Meir, and Andrea Jackson. I would like to offer a special welcome to all of the elected officials. If you are one of our elected officials, would you please raise your hand and we can give you a round of applause. I'm so pleased to see many of our community partners and leaders here today. The Academy relies on the resources and opportunities you provide to our members. The Academy is not an island on its own. Rather, we rely on the collaboration and skills offered by our community partners. Mental health recovery, as you've already heard, takes a village, and it's you, our housing, employment, clinical, and human service partners who are vital to a holistic approach to wellness. Whether you partner with us already in Sarasota or are learning about our mission for the first time, please consider exploring opportunities to collaborate with us here in Bradenton. Our members pursue goals in the 8 dimensions of wellness that include intellectual, emotional, social, environmental, spiritual, occupational, financial, and physical. Perhaps you have a financial expertise and are willing to offer a workshop on financial literacy. Or perhaps you own a health club and you'd like to offer discounted memberships to our members. Or perhaps you're an employer and you're seeking to fill positions. Whatever your field of expertise or interest, we invite you to explore a collaborative partnership with us. By so doing, you will transform lives. Now I'm very proud to hand the program over to the Academy at Bradenton staff and members team, who are really the essence of the what, and more importantly, the why of the Academy at Bradenton. Vanessa and Thad.
Thank you, Mrs. Geyer. I'm so grateful for all that you do.
We all are. I still kind of can't believe there's a place like this. I wasn't sure what to expect when I became a member. They said I'd have opportunities to work alongside staff in running the programs. Quite honestly, I expected to be doing the busy work. Filing, organizing, cleaning, and I happily do all of those things too. But right away, staff recognized my talents and skills, and now I'm working on grants and fundraising. Horizontal leadership is very much in practice here, and I credit you, Mrs. Geyer, for setting that tone from the very start. Thank you.
Our next speaker has also been with us from the start. She is a dear friend and colleague of the Academy and a tireless advocate for quality mental health services. Centerstone is the primary clinical partner of the Academy at Bradenton. We love working with Centerstone. So please welcome to the stage the CEO of Centerstone and the state of Florida, Melissa Larkin Skinner.
I think I just became the CEO of the state of Florida. I think that sounds like a great job that I am more than willing to do. So thank you for the idea, actually. When I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today, I was thinking, I got to try to remember everything the Academy does. And then I realized that's actually not what I need to remember or talk about. I am a big believer in my almost 54 years on this planet and the thousands upon thousands of people that have touched my life, that it's all about authentic human relationships. Everything is about relationships. As human beings, we as a species need authentic human relationships. I'm here today because I have those with many people in this audience. So 10 years or so ago, I met William in St. Petersburg and was amazed at what I saw. So amazed. And then a couple years later, I met Joan Geyer, who has become a friend. And then I met Bob Geyer, who has become a friend. And then I met Andrea Jackson, who has become a friend. People who are dear to my heart and who've honored me today by asking me to be here. We have a common goal, and I talk about it a little bit differently, I think, than a lot of people do. And if you take nothing else away today, if anyone in the future asks you, what does the Academy do? I'm going to tell you what they do. They have a safe place for people to go, for them to be themselves with other people who just want to be themselves in a safe place, to explore whatever educational and vocational interests they may have, non-judgmentally. Nobody around them is going to judge them, and they'll be connected to other human beings, other members of our species, to have authentic relationships. And what that leads to is happiness. That is how we attain happiness. That is how we get to a place where we can experience joy in our lives. So it is my great honor, and I'm humbled to be here today just to be able to say these words. And I'm glad that you all have now become a part of that circle and that you can go away and talk about the Academy, about Centerstone, about housing partners, about whatever you want to talk about. You could talk about services, but what really matters is we're human beings here, and we're here for a common cause, to create a safe place for people to be themselves and explore opportunities they may not otherwise have had. So thank you, Joan, Bob, William. I want you all to know I love you dearly. Oh, and Andrea. I'm going to forget Andrea, even though she made it really hot today just to get back at me for an event I had last year. But thank you.
Thank you so much, CEO. Thank you so much, Melissa. We are grateful to have you on our Team Academy. We often say that our non-clinical approach to mental health wellness is just one piece of the puzzle. Centerstone is a vital piece of the big picture, so thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Alan Davidson to the stage. Alan is the CEO of Central Florida Behavioral Health Network, which manages a behavioral health system of care in 14 counties in the Suncoast region. He has enthusiastically encouraged the development of the Academy at Bradenton and is a champion of mental health recovery. Please give a warm, no pun intended, welcome to Mr. Alan Davidson.
Well, I'm kind of disappointed that there's only one CEO of Florida. So I thought I'd, just share my story and the story of Tim. About 25 years ago, I was a case manager in North Carolina, a little bitty town, and I met Tim. Tim was about 6 foot tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, skinny, and had a mental illness. every day I'd go see Tim at the ALF, the assisted living facility, and it wasn't a great ALF. And Tim would take out those sixth grade composition notebooks that we get, and he would open the notebook up, and he would share with me the currency that we're going to have in the future. And we would sit there and talk about this currency, and it was safe, like Melissa said, it was a safe relationship. And I thought today, as I look at Glengarry, I look at the Academy, what if we had that safe place back then with Tim? Tim didn't get the socialization that he needed. He didn't get friends. He just had a group of people there living at the ALF that were a lot like him. He didn't learn skills. He had very little interaction. And I think about the Academy when I first saw it a few years back down in Sarasota, and it took me back to my case manager days, when I was 25 and ready to take on the world. And I was like, wow, so this is what mental health can be like. Looking at a safe place for humans to share where they're at in life. I won't talk very long. William, Joan, wow. I that's all I have. Wow. William and I were talking earlier, and why can't more mental health be like that? Why does it have to be, cold and sterile? Why can't it be where you're excited actually to go get some help, where you're excited to actually be around people like you? William, Joan, I told you on the phone, I told you in person, if you ever need anything, let me know. This is guys, this is where it's at. This is what mental health treatment, this is what recovery can look like. So, wow. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Alan. We are immensely grateful for your support. Central Florida Behavioral Health Network has been a steadfast funder and collaborator in our success since the very beginning in Sarasota. You guys rock.
You know who else rocks?
Well, I think I know where you're going with this, but tell us that. Who else rocks?
Our next speaker, Manatee County Commissioner Amanda Ballard. Elected in 2022, she's a significant asset to our community. Commissioner Ballard has visited us at the Academy at Glengarry and Sarasota to gain a firsthand perspective of our purpose and our mission. We thank her for her enthusiastic support of what we do. Please welcome to the stage, Commissioner Ballard.
So unlike a lot of the speakers here today, I have not been involved with the Academy for a long time. However, just a couple months ago, I had the opportunity to tour the Academy at Glengarry. And when William asked me to speak, I said, well, it's about 10 days after my due date with my baby, but I am just so impressed with what you do that I would absolutely love to be there. And I'm just so excited to be here today and to welcome the Academy to Bradenton. So I was a child welfare attorney here in Manatee County for about a decade. And the number of times that I wished that there was a program like this for the parents and families in our system, I probably cannot even count. So I am just enamored that the program is here and enamored with what you all are doing. And I will also add that at the county level where when our residents are struggling with mental illness without adequate treatment, it's going to lead to things like decreased quality of life. It's going to lead to higher unemployment, increased rates of substance abuse, and increased strain on emergency services and hospitals. And I think that is why we've been so fortunate to have the opportunity to partner with and to help fund this amazing organization. And so I also, what I saw there, the community, the sense of purpose, the sense of hope that people receive, and the functional skills training that people receive, I think is a lot of times more impactful than counseling and psychoeducation. No offense, Melissa. I think that those skills and that community, that feeling of purpose, it really helps people to kind of get their lives back. And I will also say that I did have the opportunity to have a meal, and the food that they prepare in-house is truly amazing. If you have the opportunity to try it, I highly recommend. So thank you so much to the Academy for what you do. I look forward to Manatee County continuing to partner with you to have that strong relationship and to build employment relationships with your members as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ballard. You know, Hollywood, I thought you were big time. But this has really been an all-star cast today.
I know, right? And it's not over yet. I'm super excited to introduce you to the next speaker who's traveled from New York City to be here today. As some of you may know, the Academy was honored to be chosen as one of the 7 nationwide founding affiliates of Fountain House United, which is based in New York. Please give a warm Manatee welcome to the Director of Network Services for Fountain House United, our friend and esteemed colleague, Alex Balazare.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I love the way Vanessa says my last name, by the way. Just absolutely tremendous. I'm honored to stand before you today at the grand opening of the Academy at Bradenton. William, Joan, truly thank you for allowing me to be part of this momentous occasion as we come together to support and celebrate the importance of mental health and wellness. Before I delve into the significance of this moment, I want to put into context just how far we have come to get here. Back in the early 1940s, 10 patients at Rockland State Hospital formed a group that would meet up to share stories and socialize together. Unspectacular, perhaps, but it was something novel, something organic, and most importantly, intentional. A few years later, after leaving the hospital, that same group wanted to continue this process of helping themselves and each other. So, in 1944, they created a formal name for the group. We Are Not Alone, or WANA for short. It was deliberate that the name not include any reference to mental illness or psychiatric treatment, instead focusing in on the connection and hope we feel here today. Shortly thereafter, WANA would become Fountain House, a then small community that has since spurred a movement of over 325 mental health clubhouses across the world. Now, mind you, my first interaction with William and Joan was a bit less organic than that original group, but just as intentional. You see, I was put in charge of a project and was in recruitment mode, trying to find the absolute best communities across the country to stand side by side and form a group that could tackle issues on the national stage. This work requires incredible determination and hope in an idea that we could create change beyond our own backyards. I'm happy to say it has been 4 years and the highlight of my career to have the Academy be esteemed partners of Fountain House United, a national network committed to research, advocacy, and innovation to reach more people. Often, WANA is seen as the origin story for Fountain House, but it's more than that. It's a fundamental idea and commitment to identifying and appealing to the healthy part of the person. It is our collective start and collective effort going forward, and it is alive and well here today. Our model is simple. We believe folks struggling with their mental well-being deserve the opportunity to lead fulfilling and meaningful lives, just like everybody else. Places like the Academy provide a space where members can engage in meaningful work, build social connections, and develop the skills needed to live healthier, longer lives. By fostering a sense of belonging and purpose, we can empower individuals to reclaim a sense of self and belonging. The Sarasota campus is a shining example of the impact these kinds of places can have not just on the individual, but the community writ large. As we gather here today to celebrate, I implore the beautiful city of Bradenton and the rest of Manatee County to please invest in, support, and join the Academy at Bradenton. Come take a tour of the Academy, tune into the telethon this summer, or just support them by telling a friend, a colleague, a loved one about this incredible place in your own neighborhood. Together, we can break down the stigma surrounding mental health and work towards a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. In closing, I want to congratulate the Academy at Bradenton on their grand opening. Let us come together as a community to support and uplift one another and create a brighter future for all of us. Thank you, everybody.
Boy, we must be doing something right. Thank you, Alex. It's a privilege to be part of the Fountain House Network and to have the Clubhouse International community behind us as we expand.
Alrighty, I'm going to take the next introduction, if you don't mind that.
Not at all, Hollywood.
Where to begin? Our next speaker embodies everything that is special and unique about our culture. He has devoted his professional life to championing others, a tireless advocate for wellness and dignity and potential in all of us. And I do mean all of us. He leads by impeccable example and with the assumption of our success. He collaborates with generosity and humility, and he always holds his light so that it shines brightly on those around him. Please welcome my mentor, colleague, and friend, Academy Executive Director, William McKeever.
Okay. I'm just so pleased that you joined us today. I know pretty much everybody in the audience, and it's dear to us that you spend this hot afternoon and help us celebrate. It's always tricky to name names, but I'm going to name one person that came today that I didn't know she was going to come, and that's Linda McKinnon. And hold your applause. I want to tell why we want to applaud. So hopefully I'll give you a good reason. We've been talking about how important it is to believe in each other. And sometimes someone will believe in us when we don't have the courage yet, or that belief feels really tenuous. And Linda believed in us before we started in Sarasota, and she believed in us now. And so I thank you for believing in us and supporting us. She's the former CEO of Central Florida Behavioral Health Network. So let's please give her a round of applause. So what I would like to share is, you're going to, if you haven't visited already, after this, you'll see a beautiful building, state of the art. Gosh, what a privilege to be in that building. Impeccable. One of the best facilities, certainly mental health, but one of the best facilities around. But I would like to propose that what's more important than the building is what will go on inside of that building. and it's how we relate to each other. And this is kind of stepping off from, you'll find out Melissa and I think similarly. It really has to do with how we relate to each other. And what we explore with each other is the conditions for human growth. So what do we need as people to reach our potential, to grow as human beings, to fulfill our potential? What are the conditions for human growth? We might ask that in our families. What are the conditions for supporting everybody in our family at that dinner table and their growth as human beings, or in our communities, in our county, in our city, in our companies? What are the conditions for growth? And what we've discovered is, it's not dissimilar to a plant. I mean, if we want to keep it simple, but plants need water, they need fertile soil, they need sun, they need some basic conditions. And what we've discovered is, as people, that fertile soil is community. It's a community where we find camaraderie, where we find fellowship and social support, where we feel embraced, where we feel like we belong. And we also discovered that we all need acceptance, non-judgment, unconditional regard, so that we can be our authentic selves and be who we are and try out different ways of being. And so for sunshine, we need love. We need care, genuine care and concern, patience and tolerance in the face of differences, which are another ways of saying love. And so we try to practice those values, those ways of being, to create a culture where we can all, members, staff, volunteers, whoever walks through our door can engage in that growth process and really embark on a journey to wellness and become their best versions of themselves. So I'll say that I don't want to mislead anybody. We are not perfect. And you'll see all of us on a bad day or out of sorts or making a misstep. And so maybe there's a fourth ingredient, and that would be perseverance. It would be hanging in there with each other and assuming success. It would be supporting each other even when things seem difficult, but having that faith in each other and hanging in there with each other and having each other's back. So that's a little bit about what we strive to achieve inside that building. I invite you to come and see what we do. And so I'd like to end by saying this. You heard from Thad, who is, I can't believe you've only been with us for 3 weeks, but maybe we should send you to Hollywood. But we would like to introduce a very good friend and colleague who has been with us for several years in Sarasota and now in Bradenton because he lives close by. Just a wonderful colleague, Michael Silverman. Please come up.
Wow, it is great to see all of you today. Thank you for showing up. I sometimes feel nervous standing in line at the grocery store, so you can imagine how it feels to look out and see so many faces. I felt compelled, however, to share my thoughts about this grand opening. Once you become a part of the Academy becomes a part of you. I was first introduced to the amazing people over at Glengarry campus in 2021. Like many other people, I was affected deeply by the COVID pandemic. All of the worldwide fear and confusion had caused me to fall into a very low time. I still remember my initial tour with Jeffrey Jean and that first sit-down interview with William. They could not have been more welcoming or accepting. I soon realized there were other people just like me, intelligent, creative people from every walk of life, people who, at the same time, have a harder row to hoe than someone who doesn't live a life with mental health challenges. The Academy at Bradenton is a place where a person can come to grow. Vanessa, Joanne, Jody, and Keith are all amazing mentors and amazing human beings. One could do a lot worse than spend a day with them. Learn to cook healthy food that your family will love. Learn to type up a newsletter or take photographs of your friends. gain the confidence to give a speech in front of a large group of people. And I'm only scratching the surface of what is available. We've come a long way here since our first day in the office building on Old Main Street. We realized during our very first meeting that we didn't even have pens and paper to take notes with. Because of the fire code, we had to cook every meal possible in a pair of rice cookers. And there were days when it was only a few of us. But we held court, and the people came. Now our new building is complete, and it is pretty glorious. As a team, we documented every step of its construction. We chose its colors, created its logo, and we helped bring it to life. But none of this may have been possible without the generous support of the Geyer family. What a gift. There's a lot to learn inside these walls, and some of it will surprise you. You will learn a little bit about yourselves. Whether you are a new member or an existing member, a staff person or one of our dedicated board members, whether you are an ambassador or one of our community partners, the Academy at Bradenton was created for you. By working together, we can make Manatee County an even better place. How has the Academy changed my life? Well, this has been the longest I've ever gone without a crisis. My relationships with family and friends are all stronger. I've lost 25 pounds and committed myself to healthy food and regular exercise. And I've found ways to give back to my community. Thank you. In a world that is increasingly fast-paced and chaotic, the Academy at Bradenton is one of the sanest places that I know. Thanks. Our final speaker this evening has been with the Academy at Glengarry since its very beginning. She is a creative powerhouse and is responsible for some of the best corny jokes around. And she is beloved by many of us. Please welcome to the stage our program coordinator, Miss Jody Weiss.
Good afternoon. This is a wonderful, wonderful crowd. I am the last speaker today, so it's almost time to go see what we do. I'm going to keep this brief, but I had a thought earlier. You know, there's the expression, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. You've all heard that, right? Well, to that I say, baloney. That's not true. We work. We work. Putting this party on, this was work. Getting that building together, that was work. So I took a moment and I looked it up in the dictionary, and work was defined as drudgery, plodding, all of these really negative connotations. So we did not get that memo. For us, work is the core. It is the vehicle for the relationships that Melissa and William spoke about. It is what carries us and it's the glue of our community. We, in a world where everyone's looking for a more efficient way to do things, we're looking for a way to be the most inclusive. And if it takes twice as long, but it includes twice as many people, that's the way we're going to do it. And we're going to bring everybody along with us. And for us, work is not a bad work. Work is just the heart of what we do. So I'm going to close, and I'm going to welcome everybody to come and see our amazing, beautiful building. And when you do, please walk around, ask us questions, see the teams. There's going to be amazing food there, but I want you to get into the rooms and really see what we do there, because it's special, and every single detail of what goes on there has been a partnership with members and staff. There is nothing that we do and we tell the members this is how it's done. We are all equals and we are all partners in this celebration and in moving forward with the Academy. When you do walk over there, before you go in the building, someone almost let the cat out of the bag, but there is going to be a little quick little ceremony. So we're all going to gather in front of the building for just a moment before coming into the building and enjoying and seeing what we do. I want to thank everybody so much for being here and for being on this journey with us.
Hear ye, hear ye. On this 18th day of April 2024, we gather here to celebrate the official opening of the Academy at Bradenton. I say to everyone here, we are not alone. And now, without further ado, unveil that sign!
Hi, my name is Ed Brodsky, and I'm the state attorney here for Sarasota, Manatee, and DeSoto County. Honored to be here today.
What excites you most about the opening of the Academy at Bradenton?
I honestly believe that this is going to be transformational and groundbreaking here in our community. This is going to be a game changer. I'm so excited that you're here, and I think that this is a very vital service that you're providing to our community, to our residents, and I'm sure that Manatee County is going to warmly welcome you beyond, the huge turnout that we've had here today.
What kind of programs or activities are you most looking forward to seeing at the Academy at Bradenton?
We've been very honored to partner with them at the State Attorney's Office and have some transitional employees, and we'd like to see that happen here in Bradenton. We look forward to the future, and we're excited to be here today.
Nice chatting with you. Thank you so much.
There are so many ways the Academy will contribute to the local community. First of all, people just need and deserve a safe and a fun and a connected place to come and experience each other as humans, as we talked about during the opening ceremony. But it will also contribute to our economy. There are employers in downtown Bradenton, I know, that are hungry to find new people to come and work for them, and this is the perfect space for that to happen.
Did our program change your outlook on mental health?
So to me, mental health it's a huge need in our community. A lot of people are collaborating together to make things work well. And yes, it's definitely changed my understanding of how people can build community and go to jobs and succeed in those jobs and support one another. So thank you.
Good. Well, thank you for the interview.
With the grand opening behind us, it's just us, members and staff hard at work, creating the magic that happens within our walls. Drop in and meet the creative and talented members and staff that create our productive and inclusive culture. Take a tour of our Academy at Bradenton and watch what happens.